Olympics.
Would you have put Caitlin Clark on the Olympic team?
Right now?
No, no. This past Olympic team.
I knew you were going to ask this question. Honestly, I have to just say that I respected the committee's job. I understood what was at play. I understood the pros and the cons, I guess, if you want to lay it out that way. And I think at the end of the day, it's hard to criticize a gold medal. A lot of people see the final game against France. They see, only winning by a couple points, and they view that as some sort of indicator. But the reality is we've been having close games at the Olympics for years. I can attest to that. So that wasn't really that new. Winning a close game like that wasn't new. That didn't have anything to do with it.
Things are getting tense in the WNBA after Team USA made a major decision involving Caitlin Clark. The league seems to be scrambling to respond, and people are definitely taking notice. For a while now, it's felt like the WNBA hasn't been treating Caitlin Clark as the serious force she is. Fans have voiced frustration, especially with how referees have handled her games. Now, in a recent interview, basketball legend Sue Bird shared something that's turning heads, and it might explain why the WNBA is so on edge. What's happening now could be exactly what the league's been afraid of all along, and it's finally here.
The beauty of USA basketball and what we have going in this country is all the talent, and that's always been the case. So I kind of just don't want to mess it up.
Yeah.
I think that's how I'm coming in. But I know being a player, bringing that perspective, it's going to make my ability to support this team unique.
If you haven't been keeping up lately, here's what's going on. The WNBA is in full-blown crisis mode. Why? Because Team USA just made a bold move that's shaking things up. Basketball icon Sue Bird, now the managing director of Team USA, is at the center of it. Sue, who knows the game inside and out, is reportedly offering Caitlin Clark the opportunity she was overlooked for last year. And that has the league buzzing. If this happens, it could be a game-changing moment for the WNBA.
Hooligans, Cheryl Reeves included, so full of themselves, so bound by tribalism that they just couldn't look past their own nose, and at the end of the
WNBA's reaction? Pretty typical. They made a major misstep, then acted like it never happened. But Sue Bird isn't the type to ignore the obvious. Last year, Caitlin Clark was unfairly passed over, even though she's one of the most talented players out there. That move made the league look out of touch. Now, with Sue at the helm, Caitlin is finally getting the spot she deserves on Team USA. As Caitlin shines on the international stage, the WNBA won't be able to ignore her any longer. And deep down, they know it's going to be a big moment.
As you know, Cheryl Reeves, head coach of the USA women's basketball team, has also been getting a little bit of backlash, right? Yes. And now she's decided to make her X profile private. This is kind of the still same realm of what we're talking about, Dan.
Well, you're supposed to be above it. I always felt like, as a coach, I got to watch everything because I got to lead. And whether it was going into a team meeting, I wanted to be prepared. If I was having a meeting with a parent, I wanted to be prepared. A player.
Caitlin Clark, yes, the star who made college basketball exciting again, is finally getting the recognition she deserves. And honestly, it's long overdue. Despite her incredible performance last year, Caitlin was left off Team USA, receiving the all-too-familiar WNBA cold shoulder. But with Sue Bird now calling the shots, that's about to change. It's almost certain Sue will pick her now. The league is being forced to face the truth. Caitlin Clark isn't just good, she's a game changer. And looking back, the WNBA might regret not giving her the respect she earned from the start.
Controversial, the most talked about story of the 2024 season. You want to know? You want me to tell you? Okay, I'll tell you. It was Caitlin Clark being snubbed from the Olympics. Yes, that story, that headline that had Stephen A. Smith talking, that had everybody and their mama talking. And what's crazy about it, we all remember the storyline. Diana Taurasi got to get her sixth medal to make history. And then ultimately she got benched. She got benched. Now, what if I was to tell you that the WNBA made it their business to clean house? What did I tell y'all at the beginning of this offseason going into this preseason? Kathy Engelberg is going to get rid of everybody that wronged Caitlin Clark.
Let's rewind for a moment. The WNBA, a league that's supposed to represent the highest level of professionalism in women's basketball, has made some questionable decisions over the years. Too often, they overlook true talent and get caught up in unnecessary distractions, especially when it comes to officiating. Referees have been a consistent problem, rarely calling fouls unless the player on the receiving end is a WNBA veteran. And Caitlin Clark? She experienced this firsthand last season, time and again. Obvious fouls against her went uncalled, almost like the officials were trying not to notice. And the league? It didn't seem to mind. Instead of recognizing her impact, they acted as if she wasn't even there.
Is expected to be announced as the managing director for the USA women's national team for the 2028 Olympic cycle. She will take on what is known as the Grant Hill role, selecting player rosters and coaching staff. And for those of you who aren't too familiar with the WNBA or the women's side of Team USA, and Grant Hill's a little bit new in this role, Jerry Colangelo.
Then came the big shock. When the Team USA roster was announced, Caitlin Clark's name was nowhere to be found. This, after she had just wrapped up a college season that was nothing short of MVP-worthy if fans were confused. Was it an oversight? A mistake? Or was the WNBA continuing to act like the most exciting player in the country didn't exist? The truth is simpler. Despite offering vague excuses about team dynamics or roster balance, it looked like they were avoiding the spotlight Caitlin brings. Let's face it, after she turned college basketball into a national sensation, not everyone was ready for the attention and pressure she brings with her.
I wonder who they're going to pick as a coach. Because obviously she's UConn. Who's she going to pick for the players? Like, there is going to probably be some UConn freaking bias here for Sue Bird. But of all the UConn people, she's the least likely to have full-on UConn derangement level bias. Like, there's definitely going to be some UConn bias, but like, I don't think it's going to be like derangement level.
Fast forward to today, and Team USA is hitting the reset button, with Sue Bird now leading the charge. Yes, that's Sue Bird, the champion, the basketball mind with the experience and vision to build a winning team. As the new managing director, she's not here to play politics or tiptoe around tough decisions. Her focus is simple: put together the best team possible to dominate on the world stage, and let's be real, there's no way she's leaving Caitlin Clark off the roster this time around. Sue knows talent when she sees it, and she's not about to let a player like Caitlin slip through the cracks. So, take note, Caitlin Clark will be part of this year's Team USA. And when that happens, the WNBA better be ready, because it's going to spark some serious conversation.
Sue Bird won 4 WNBA championships. She was an All-Star 13 times, one of the more decorated basketball players in history, and also 5-time Olympic gold medalist, just named USA Basketball Women's National Team Managing Director. That's a hell of a title there. Is that on your business card? And what exactly does that mean, Sue?
Need like a business index card at this point or whatever.
Right now, the WNBA is scrambling. They had their shot with Caitlin Clark, and let it slip like a bad draft pick. Now, her name is everywhere, lighting up highlight reels, while Sue Bird steps in, fully aware that the league missed the mark on one of the biggest talents in recent memory. The WNBA is working overtime to protect its image, but the damage may already be done. And let's not forget the officiating. Remember how it seemed like referees ignored the fouls Caitlin took, like she was playing against ghosts? Those days didn't go unnoticed. Now, with Caitlin Clark poised to become the face of Team USA on the global stage, the league is feeling the heat. The player they overlooked is about to take center stage, and when Sue Bird makes it official, the WNBA will have no choice but to face the fallout.
In the 2020 Women's Olympics, the best point guard was the best point guard on Team USA or for America was Chelsea Gray. At that stage, I'm guessing Skylar Diggins was second best, but if you're looking right here, what point guard did they bring? They brought Chelsea Gray. They brought Sue Bird. Who was the starting point guard? Sue Bird. Sue Bird started the one. Because it didn't matter. Is she better than Chelsea Gray? No. Just like in 2024, I'd say they felt bad that Chelsea Gray was by far the best point guard in the WNBA.
When it comes to referees, the WNBA seems to have a problem. If the league were a reality show, these officials would be the troublemakers everyone loves to hate. It's like they had some secret deal to make Caitlin Clark's life as difficult as possible. She'd break away from defenders, soaring past them like a rocket, only to get fouled hard. And the referees? They just stare, acting like nothing happened. Imagine missing call after call while Caitlin was getting hacked on the court. It was as if the refs were living in their own world where fouls simply didn't count. If they had blown the whistle every time they missed a foul, the arena would have sounded like a cricket chorus. Meanwhile, Caitlin kept playing like a superhero, dodging, driving, and scoring, despite the unfair treatment. Honestly, the WNBA might as well have given her a cape.
Sue Bird won 4 WNBA championships. She was an All-Star 13 times, one of the more decorated basketball players in history, and also 5-time Olympic gold medalist. Just named USA Basketball Women's National Team Managing Director. That's a hell of a title there. Is that on your business card? And what exactly does that mean?
Then came Sue Bird, calm, experienced, and ready to take charge just when it looked like Caitlin Clark might need a miracle, or at least a fair set of referees. The WNBA kept acting like Caitlin was lucky just to be there, while the refs seemed to compete over who could miss the most obvious fouls. But Sue Bird isn't just any former player, she's a walking trophy case. Multiple WNBA championships, Olympic gold medals, and a basketball IQ that's off the charts. Now, as Team USA's managing director, she's not here to make speeches or pose for photos. She's here to get results. Sue won't let Caitlin be ignored or pushed aside. The WNBA, which has struggled to protect one of the brightest new stars in years, is about to face a hard truth. Sue knows the politics, the game, and she can see when referees are being unfair. If the WNBA won't respect Caitlin Clark, Sue will make sure Team USA does. And if the refs keep missing calls, they'd better be ready, because Sue Bird will start calling them out.
Another year and another case of WNBA referees dropping the ball, not making the right calls when it comes to Caitlin Clark. Bruh, how we one game away for the start of the season, and we have already Caitlin Clark getting fouled extremely hard. Look back at the referee like, damn, you didn't just see me get annihilated in the head, and the referee, nothing.
Let's take a moment to recognize the WNBA's unique approach, if you can call it that. It almost feels like they're trying to mess things up on purpose. The league has somehow managed to do what many thought impossible: dampen the excitement around Caitlin Clark, one of the most thrilling players to come along in years. You'd think having a star who's basically a walking highlight reel would be a huge win for the WNBA. But instead, they treat her like an extra on the sidelines. It's like they handed the referees a secret rulebook telling them to ignore Caitlin at all costs, just hand her a jersey and forget about it. When it comes to officiating, the WNBA would be champions of bad calls. Caitlin drives to the basket and gets hit hard, but the whistle never blows. Yet, if anyone so much as breathes near her opponents, the refs are ready with a fast whistle. It's clear the referees got the message loud and clear: look the other way whenever Caitlin gets fouled.